Welcome to Spotlight on Frazee. I'm your host, Hank Ledke, and you're down here in the office. And this is my little corner desk in beautiful downtown Frazee. And I'm here with Britton Ramsey from MMCDC. Hi, Britton.
Hello, good morning. Thank you.
And welcome to Spotlight on Frazee. How many years have you been with MMCDC?
I have been here a total of 6 years.
Okay, and MMCDC stands for?
Midwest Minnesota Community Development Corporation.
All right. And I know, like you said that the organization has been going for quite a few years. About how many years?
We started in the early 70s, and we're a nonprofit that does various financial lending and different community development projects. And
what counties do you work in?
We actually work, depending through what it is. For mortgage lending, we're working statewide with Minnesota. Our commercial lending even does some things outside of Minnesota.
Oh, really? I didn't realize that you guys went that far. That's interesting to know.
Relatively new, some of the newer projects. Mm-hmm.
Now, your office, I know Arlen Kangas was with you for many years, and of course, he is retired now?
Correct. Yeah, he has, yep.
And so who's the new president now?
Our new president is Kevin Shipley.
Okay. And I don't know Kevin personally, but that's nice to know. You know, we had worked with Ireland over the years on different projects, including our industrial park out here.
Yes, yep. And Kevin has been working for MMCDC years ago, and then he was the president of our bank that we had, and now he's back to MMCDC.
Well, that's good. You know, it's nice to keep that type of continuity in your business here. And so, what brought you to MMCDC?
Well, I have a background in mortgage lending, and I love the opportunity that MMCDC provides on a nonprofit standpoint. We just have the kind of a unique stance and ability to be creative and make better communities. And
so, in the time that you've been there, how do you see the growth in this region?
You know, I think recently there's been a lot of talk about things like workforce housing and, you know, that type of thing that we're seeing locally in our area. And that's been, you know, kind of a bigger buzz. But I think, you know, since that, I see the growth in the communities, you know, right around where we are here in Becker County, and kind of addressing some of those newer needs that arise because of that growth.
Well, and I know when I look at the census and see that in a 10-year period we have grown about 50% in population. It amazes me.
Yeah, the recent housing study that I've looked at has been, the numbers are very intriguing for sure.
And I understand down at PERB now they're looking at some larger scale workforce housing there for KLN industries.
I know there's a lot of manufacturing facilities up, you know, north as far as Roseau, and, you know, even way down in southern Minnesota that we've heard discussions of, that it's kind of it's a major concern for, you know, a lot of manufacturing places throughout the state of Minnesota are growing, and those people need places to work but don't really qualify for low income that's out there either. So, yeah.
Well, but we when we had our old turkey plant here, that was the start of actually the trailer courts that we have here in town. The first trailer court that was started in town was actually for housing for people that work seasonally at the turkey plant.
Okay, that's interesting. I did not know that. Mm-hmm.
And that's how that kind of came about. And but I see that, you know, I know we're always looking for more workers in this area, which amazes me how the job opportunities have opened.
Yeah, and it seems like, and Frazee is nestled so perfectly in amongst a lot of, you know, large growth too. So it's kind of the perfect opportunity for that housing to happen. Mm-hmm.
And we're hoping to do something with you in the future. But we're going to take a break now. We'll be right back with Britton Ramsey to talk about some of the programs she works on. Welcome back to Spotlight on Frazee. I'm here yet with Britton Ramsey of Midwest Minnesota Community Development Corporation, and we're discussing, of course, her history with that, and now we're going to discuss some of the business opportunities or rehab opportunities that she actually has. So go ahead, Britton. I'm just going to kind of let you run.
Okay. Well, thank you, and I appreciate the opportunity. I think the thing that we have that is most exciting or intriguing to residents of Frazee is we have a program to do acquisition or rehab on homes. So, and I've been talking to folks here who have, there's, maybe several homes that are in older, need of repair, even vacant homes that may be for sale. And we have programs that are able to lend with favorable terms to that, to keep it as a low-cost loan to the borrower with no money down and no mortgage insurance, things like that. So we are able to do lending on the purchase of a home that maybe needs work that other banks or whatnot might not seem as favorable. And we are also able to do lending on existing homes. If you are an owner-occupied, you own your home, you live there, and it needs roof, window siding, etc., that type of thing, we can do lending for that fix-up portion of it as well.
And now, as I understand it, there's not much for an income guideline in Frazee, or I may be not saying that quite right, but I understand that most of Frazee would qualify for this type of a program.
Yes, that is correct. So our guidelines are either, it has to meet one of a few different guidelines. One of those are income restrictions. However, one of that is a geographic area of which the CDFI determines, and the city limits of Frazee all falls within that. So if the home is anywhere within the city limits of Frazee, we are able to, it automatically meets that qualification. So there are, of course, underwriting guidelines that go into play as well, but they're pretty favorable, standard terms for most people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if they want to get a hold of you and find out more about these programs, how do they find Britton?
Well, we have a website where you can get more information, www.mmcdc.com. My direct number is 844-7010, or you could stop in my office right along Washington Avenue in Detroit Lakes.
Okay. Where are you located on Washington?
We are in the Greystone Plaza, we are directly on, and our office kind of splits into half, so we're at opposite ends of the block. But the lending people, we are at, I think it's 718 Washington.
All right. Well, I really appreciate you being on the program here, and I think a lot of people out here in Frazee, we get these questions about, well, is there anything available, and at our Economic Development Authority, yesterday we were just having discussion. We do have some monies, and we're looking at what you can do, and in the near future we're hoping that we can dovetail some of our program money with yours to help people redo their homes. And but we need good projects. Don't come to me or Britton with your fish house and tell her you need a new roof.
I probably can't lend on that. Yeah.
All right. Thanks for being on the program, Britton.
Yes, thank you very much for having me.
And with that, we'll be back next week with another segment of Spotlight on Frazee. So remember, pet the dog, hug the kids, kiss the wife, and wave at the neighbors.